Jeez. Shit.
In the Straits of Hormuz with what is now the government of Iran, and then 50% of their oil on the other side waiting to get through.
Well, China and Russia are sitting on the sidelines monitoring everything. They're in close touch with the government. They're providing satellite intelligence, which accounts for some of the tremendous successes, particularly in Israel and on our U.S. bases. All of our bases have been destroyed. Our harbor installations are destroyed. We're actually having to fall back on India and Indian ports, which are left based.
What about China's ability to impact outcomes in the Straits of Hormuz with what is now the government of Iran, and then 50% of their oil on the other side waiting to get through?
Well, China and Russia are sitting on the sidelines monitoring everything. They're in close touch with the government. They're providing satellite intelligence, which accounts for some of the tremendous successes, particularly in Israel and on our U.S. bases. All of our bases have been destroyed. Our harbor installations are destroyed. We're actually having...
We're going to stop it right there, giving all the praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachah HaKwadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who told us this truth. A sincere Shalom Labakarium, Shah Yasha'Allah, that's peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. As you heard Scott say, all of our bases in the Middle East have been destroyed. And we can testify to that because we watching the news from the East, you know, not just domestic news, you know. We hearing the international reports. And it ain't looking good for Babylon, just like the prophecy said it would. You know, the Lord has brought this man down. This is a scary time for you damn Edomites, man. We at the end.
Being on the sidelines, monitoring everything. They're in close touch with the government. They're providing satellite intelligence, which accounts for some of the tremendous successes, particularly in Israel and on our U.S. bases. All of our bases have been destroyed. Our harbor installations are destroyed. We're actually having to fall back on India and Indian ports, which are less than ideal. That's what the Navy says. And I think Iran, much to our disappointment, is faring very, very well. The question is, how long can we keep this up? I think logistics is the vulnerable part of this entire operation. Remember, you've got to go back and reload. You've got to fly things in. You've got to sail in. Iran is a continental power, 93 million people, the size of...
You got to remember, America is at their border. They're not over here, we're over there. So Babylon is running out of ammo. Babylon is running all the fuel. Their fighter jets are being shot down. Some of their pilots are being captured. For every one missile that's being shot by Iran, Babylon got to shoot 5 to 6 to counter it. It's looking bad. Now, if this thing was to drag out for the first 4 weeks, you know, America's lost this war. Well, now Trump is coming out saying this thing may drag out more than 4 weeks. First, it was 4 days. Then it was 4 weeks. Now it's indefinite, which we knew it was going to be like that because the Lord has made the nation stand up at this time. This is Isaiah 14, verse 10. All that shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Meaning, in other words, we got the same firepower, if not more. Now, on paperwork, Babylon do look great. But you got to remember, you damn near 5,000 miles away from home. You know? And you're on borrowed time when it comes to these troops. Your foot soldiers, your men don't want to fight. They want to come back home. So that's the scriptures when they say the Lord shall make them as weak as women. Women don't want to fight. So these American soldiers don't want to fight. They don't have a cause to fight for. But because you assassinated that spiritual leader out there in Iran, which gave them more ammunition. Now you have a real fight on your hand. You have a real war in your hand. And it ain't looking good if you go stat from stat and you drag this thing out. And you know Russia and China is sitting in the cut. It says, art thou become like unto us? Meaning weak. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, and the worm is spread under thee. The worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, that rulership, that top power? You no longer in the heaven position. O Lucifer, which is a light bearer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, thou that didst weaken the nations? And you did weaken the nations. You was on Iran's ass at one time, you know, as well as the rest of the heathen. But now look at you. This is bad, E.
Western Europe. Both China and Russia are continental powers. They don't have supply chain problems. Their manufacturing capabilities are intact. Right now, the missile cities that underlie all of Iran's provinces are untouched, and they have an inexhaustible supply of missiles. I think this is going to go on for some time, and the question is, when does Israel step up and say they've had enough? We went through that before during the 12-day war. When do they say this is too much? When do they say, if this doesn't stop, we use a nuclear weapon? That's what I would be concerned about. And that's where President Trump, who really doesn't appear to be in charge, Mr. Netanyahu,
now, this thing go down this way, we got our eyes peeled on what's happening in the Middle East, because we at the end, you know, and they whip out and use some small tactical nuclear weapon just to escalate this. So, hey, we on it. We are not ignorant of Satan's devices, giving all the praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachahak, Wadah Shalom.